My Clash of the Castle reproductions, meaning my review, but what were my predictions? My prediction, starting off with a women's person tag match between Io Sky, Dakota Kai, and Bailey, taking on the World Women's Champion Bailey, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky. My intentions were right going into the match for the build of this match. Bailey it has been clashing ever since her return at SummerSlam when she brought Dakota and Io Sky to the main roster with her, and they had reigned supreme. It was attack the World Women's Champion on Bianca Belair. Bianca had her found her some backup in Alexa Glitz and Oscar, and they've been going at it for the last weeks since after SummerSlam. And Bailey and has been taunting Bianca Belair. The first time they ever met was back when they fought for the SmackDown Women's Championship over the pandemic, even before during the 2021 Royal Rumble. And Bailey is great as a heel. She's great at calling on the microphone, saying, telling it like it is, whether it's ding dong hello or why she is a role model, why she is all beyond the women's division. She's going back on top. Love to have Bailey. Love to have some fresh life back to the women's roster. She's one of the top stars of the women's division for over the last 6 or 7 years. And I believe she'll be the one to beat Bianca for the World Women's Champion. And my prediction was Io Stein, Dakota Kai wins the match. Bailey pins Bianca. And it came true. Match 2. We had Gunther and Sheamus. And this was a short feud that started only just a couple of 2-3 weeks ago. And in the last 2 weeks we saw a stare off face to face between Gunther and Sheamus, and it was really good. And both, of course, Luke Kaiser and Butch and Ridge Holland, both trying to pull Sheamus and Gunther. They're trying to keep those two away from a huge brawl, and it was great. And they cut a really great promo about how important it is to compete for the Intercontinental title on a national stage, especially as big as their first pay-per-view in the UK for the WWE since 2003. And the hype to this match really anticipated. Very physical, very hard hitting, an amazing match. I mean, we've seen Sheamus, his kick, 10 beats on a bowing, pounding on his chest, on the ropes, and even outside the ring. We've seen Gunther slap the lights, chop the lights out of Sheamus' chest. And there's been a hard hitting match from the start to the finish. And then you get the impact moves, and you see Sheamus hit his Celtic toss, a move that he hasn't used in quite a long time. Toss, Gunther, and it was amazing. Pinfall after pinfall, of course. Gunther hit Sheamus, two power bombs, and ended up winning it with a lariat. An amazing match. Stoneman had a standing ovation. Gunther retains the Intercontinental Champion, and I think he's going to be one of the best Intercontinental Champions we have had in a long time. Our next match we had for the SmackDown Women's Championship, we had Lynn Morgan versus Shayna Baszler. This match was lopsided. Um, Shayna getting the better of Lynn Morgan, but then in the end, Shayna Baszler lost the step. And Lynn Morgan was able to capitalize. Like she hit a cold, I think she hit the floor breaker. Then she hit uh, um, her finishing move, using the ropes as leverage to clamp her face to the mat, and she got that 1-2 beat. Liv Morgan is still the SmackDown Women's Champion. I guess she isn't gonna lose the title until Ronda Rousey comes back. Um, the next match we have Judgment Day versus another way. Predictions for Sheamus, Gunther. I had Gunther winning because, like I said, he's going to be one of the best Intercontinental champions, especially in where the era we got change of creative. And bringing a value and point to the champion is big. And you saw uh, Walter, and now Gunther, as UK champion when his reign, epic reign, will wait till you see him as long as he holds the IC title. Um, Judgment Day versus um, Rey Mysterio and Edge. And it was amazing. I mean, high risk maneuvers. I mean, Mysterio flying on top of Damian Priest and Finn Balor outside the ring. Of course, all the high flying action. Of course, the match ended with Mysterio at 619 or playing hit the spear. And the conclusion after that match, the most important outcome payoff was Dominic Mysterio turned heel as he low glowed both Edge and his own father, Rey Mysterio. You don't see your own, you don't see your own kids kicking you in the gut on or beating you on television. Even if you're just a McMahon, the McMahon family who's had storylines in the past. This has got to be the greatest. This could be one of the greatest. Father and son family storylines. I mean, of course, we can't forget, about the Roman Reigns storyline we got with the Bloodline. I mean, of course, he's going to fall in like The Rock at WrestleMania 39. Um, Interesting. He not only is he going to have to fight um, his own father, but Edge is going to have to bone the pick with Dominic as well. And this is going to be great long-term storytelling. I predict this is going to be great. I think Mysterio is going to win the answers. Dominic is going to want to give it to him. Then I think Dominic's probably going to launch that seems like Dominic's probably going to launch an attack on Ray, and maybe take him out of the match for the next 7, or maybe as long as it maybe at the Royal Rumble, or maybe all about long term storytelling. I mean, I think his feud has to come up with Edge. I think they could maybe do a Mysterio it's best of 5 Survivor Series instead of doing Raw versus SmackDown again. I think it would be to put a betterment of both brands if they have two guys with their personal egos and they have a feud that really brings the story and they really in that drama that the fans will get into, especially but since these two are both father and son, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens on the Monday on Raw. My prediction was actually the Judgment Day because Judgment Day has been garbage. They since Finn Balor, since the Rhea Ripley and Dorian Priest have turned on Edge. and have Finn Balor the leader. They've been nothing but jobbers, and I think our prediction I had Finn or Damian Priest. I think a win pinning edge would have been huge for or Finn since he does have no momentum. He's a former UK champion, a former Universal champion, and a former IC champion, a former US champion, and he's never held. I mean, he's never beaten anybody as big or as popular as Edge and he is in the UK. And it would have been one of the greatest wins of his career, especially Damian Priest. And it would have gave, I thought, it would have gave them a lot of momentum. And of course, the next pay per view was Extreme Rules, and they could have had Edge versus Finn Balor, and that could have been probably the last match of the rivalry there, which I thought would definitely be an amazing match because I think Finn getting one up on Edge, and especially a win for the Judgment Day, would have gives them some credibility, especially to continue the feud. Since of course Edge and Finn hasn't had a one-on-one match prior to this showdown at the Clash. Um. Anyway, love the results. I'm satisfied with the outcome. We'll see what's next. The next match. And by the way, Shayna Baszler, I thought she was winning because I just believe Shayna and Ronda Rousey is a bigger feud. It's a much bigger. I think it will make you a lot of more money. I mean, both real combat athletes fought in the MMA, with UFC, and I think it would have been a lot. It would have been a lot better. But I guess I say Rousey comes back, takes the champion. Then I think Shayna Baszler, maybe she at some point, because this is a feud that they have to do. I think it would be I think it would be very two women that are very physical, strategic, of submission, very ground and pound competitors. I think they have who are real life friends, real life sports fighters in and outside of the ring. I think it would be a lot of great drama and story and a lot of great entertainment to television. Um. Anyway, um, I believe that well, actually the next match, Matt Riddle versus Seth Rollins. It was an amazing match. I have criticized this before. I don't like when Rollins does the buckle bomb because he can hit you. Like, don't remember back in you remember in 2016 when he did the buckle bomb on the barricade before, and outside of the ring he did it on Balor to determine the first Universal Champion. It incapacitated Balor and took him out of action. Even though he would continue the match and was able to win with his demon personality. Um, but Riddle survived. There was a lot of big matches. I mean, the Funkin' Era, Matt Riddle, Floating Glow, GTS, the Grove Mission, the Sleeper. I mean, the Chokehold, real neck with Chokehold. I mean, a lot of moves, street move sets, counter after counter. Of course, I mean, the ending was great. It was spectacular. First time ever I've seen Seth Rollins do the current stomp. Of course, he used the second rope and he did the current stomp on top of the head of Matt Riddle. And he won his first match in pay-per-view in 15 months. In his first pay-per-view he's won this year. Congrats to Steph. Of course, this feud will continue to Extreme Rules. Looking forward to it. The hype from the before this was great. I think it was a great move by the WWE to not have this match at SummerSlam because of the lack of build, and happens all the way to Clash of the Castle because the story is great, marvelous. Um, the next match, the main event, You had Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship in Universal, the Undisputed Universal. And I was great. I appreciated every second of this match. It was awesome. Roman Reigns. Just the clobbering. The clotheslines were hilarious. Samoan drop, Drew McIntyre. Um, Man, big move after big move. Tried to do. One of my favorite moves, Roman Reigns tried to do the Superman punch, but he countered into the future shot DDT. And to start off, before during the entrances, he returned with broken dreams, and I thought this would mean that Roman Reigns' reign will end, just like when Killer Cross made his return a month ago, and said that Roman Reigns' time is about to run out. And I thought this was going to be it. This was a great match. So much emotion. Roman's hit like 2 spears. He was still able to counter. He even had the guillotine. But McIntyre as well. He hit Claymore kick, and to Claymore, another Claymore kick. And just, of course, the referee was distracted. He hit a headbutt. The Claymore, he 1, 2, 3. Then the ref pulled out the ring at the last second by none other than Solo Socorro from NXT. And it was an unbelievable scene. Nobody thought that this was going to be. Everybody thought this was going to be the ending of war. Drew finally gets that win over Roman Reigns to be the chosen one to be the face of the company. But instead, Roman Reigns reigns supreme thanks to Solo Sikoa. Coach White, Michael Snackett, Reigns was able to hit the spear to secure the victory. My overall thoughts, kind of sad Drew didn't win. I thought they should have gave him with the story they had. And Roman Reigns can always win the championship back later, maybe even at the Royal Rumble or Elimination, because they do not need Drew McIntyre. They do not need Roman Reigns to hold both the WWE Universal title. And we even see before towards the ending of the match, we had Austin Fury come out, but he was knocked out by Tyson Fury as he was about to cash in. He was standing by the referee, and we're the commentary crew. And I think they are. I think Roman Reigns, the next match he's gonna have, I think they're gonna have Fury win one of those titles, and he'll just be a transitional champion. And we'll eventually have those titles separate. I think that will be the best way to get the titles off of Roman. Great pay-per-view. I love what we're gonna get. We're gonna get a lot of more family drama. If we already have, Solo Sikoa is the cousin of Roman Reigns, Glover of the Usos, and then we have a 4-man dynamic, and it's going to be amazing, especially with Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, who are now feuding, who are best friends. We competed all over the world. We've been friends with each other their whole lives, and I believe that it's going to be great. Let's just see what's going to happen on SmackDown. You get more family drama with the Mysterios. Dominant's son, Ray's son turning on him, and not only him, but one of his best friends and closest rivals, Edge. So you have a lot of great stories and headlines to run going, especially Extreme Rules. A lot of great stuff. Enjoyed it. Now for our all-out predictions. For Bryan Danielson and Chris Jericho, I think this is going to be a technical. I think it's a very physical match. I think the ending of the match, we expect Daniel Garcia to turn on Chris Jericho, but instead while the referee's down, he turns on Bryan Danielson. to add unpredictable because it's very predictable that he turns on, and he doesn't turn on Jericho just yet. And this leads to a third match between between Danielson and Garcia after the show, maybe at the Asylum, and maybe at called Glam Slam that's coming up in a couple of weeks. Um, Also, we have the trios tag team match for the trios tag team, the inaugural, who will be the first ever tag team champions. And I would really love to see, much if I love to see House of Black. I think House of Black win the chits. I think there's a chance. We could see Dark Order finally win. I would want to see because John Silver and number 10 has been there with AEW for the longest since the Interception Dark Order, and they deserve to be champions. They're not bad. They're really good wrestlers. Heyman Adam Page, I would love to see him hold some more gold after he won the AEW World Champion for half a year. And now, being the first one, especially be a great feud. Seeing him and Kenny Omega, who has great history, especially with him along with the Young Bucks, it would be a great winning. And I think they'll eventually lose the champion, not hold it too long. Because the Young Bucks and Kenny don't need the belts to make the titles look good because they've already won. They've won all gold already. I don't think that should. I think Dark Order should be the first trio champion. It would be a great way to make Sober and 10 relevant. Give them and bring a lot of value, especially having the belts hold by a former world champion as well. Um, the Fatal 4-Way for the AEW Turn Women's Championship.